Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the KIZUNA Hawkins. We're going to be testing the teams that we prepared for you guys. I think it was yesterday, actually, within 24 hours. So, unfortunately, this video is a little bit delayed, so I do apologize about that, but with work and life, things get a little bit hectic. So, let's take on the Dex variation first, and we're going to be using the Sugar team first. This was the team that I sort of gave an honorable mention to. I actually really want to see how this team goes. Now, obviously, supports aren't really essential. I do have the Shoutout support on the Sweet Generals, but that's not essential. You can just bring stats. So the idea of this particular run is what we're going to do on turn 1 is we're actually going to use the Sugar special, and that way we're just going to rely on the Bears to actually just blast our way through the first 2 stages. And because we have 2 super typings from Sugar, we actually can just use one of the super typings on the next stage, and we can actually clear the next stage fairly easily. Ideally, you do want to get a little bit of orb luck on the first roll, but it shouldn't matter too much with the bear mechanic, as the bears can go through barriers. They're not worried about burn or anything like that. So we are going to use the super typing of our Sugar, and then we are just going to attack. Goddamn, Sugar does so much damage. As soon as I hit with an orb, it's just GG for Hold'em. See you later. We're on to the final stage now. This is where things get a bit funky. Now, I have designed this particular team to be like level 140 proof, but you don't really need it to be. Now, as you can see, we do get paralyzed, and we do get our specials roll back, but with this setup, it doesn't actually matter too much. So we are going to switch with our Marco and Ace. That way we get a full board of Strength Orbs, which is matching. Then what you can do is you can use the special of Okiku. Okiku is going to roll our specials forward. We are going to use the special of our Marco and Ace. That way we can actually get a 2.75 times attack boost, but just really using the Sweet Generals is actually going to be enough, as we get the additional stat boost, the additional chain boost, the color affinity, and the attack boost. And then with the Sugar special, we can turn everyone into bears, and then we can use the Sugar super type to actually get an orb boost. And even though we're paralyzed, it actually doesn't matter. If you have double special on your Okiku, you can get rid of the paralysis, but bears, they don't give a rat's ass about paralysis. So 48 mil hitting with Okiku is actually pretty impressive, and obviously by the time we get to the Sweet Generals, they're going to be hitting very, very hard. So that was the Sugar team. It actually worked really, really well. Let's move on to the next team against the Dex variation now. So on to the next team against the Dex variation, we are bringing Verse Kaido. And as mentioned in the playthrough, you can actually bring a friend Zoro with this team, as we are running full powerhouse. If you do have a way of getting color affinity on this particular team, if you have like the oven support or something like that, that can also help you out. But you can also just use the any sort of strength color affinity booster. I don't know if I actually added that or not. Oh, actually, no, sorry. We're using Marco. Marco, he's our color affinity booster. Never mind. Ignore that. If you don't have Marco, you could just replace him with like Sweet Generals or something like that to get the 2 times color affinity. Or even like Clash Jinbe should work fine, but I don't think he's a powerhouse unit. On stage 2, we come up against what's old mate's name? Hold'em. We come up against Hold'em. So on this particular stage, we are going to pop one of our Zoro specials. Well, our friend Zoro. Ideally, you'd pop the friend Kaido if you are using the Kaido special. So for the sake of the argument, we are just going to just use our Zoro special. And even with the burn, it doesn't matter too much. We can just hit our perfects, move on to the next stage. Especially if you are running a friend Kaido, you do want to make sure you hit those 3 perfects if you use his special. On to the next stage against Basil Hawkins. He is a Dex variation, obviously. He's going to give us a full board of bashing orbs, but with this particular team, all of our orbs are actually matching naturally. As you can see, he does roll our specials back, so we can actually use our King special to roll them forward and remove the special blinds. Then we can use the Carrot special to get a chain lock, which is great. Then we can use our Marco special. Marco is going to drop our HP, but also give us 2 times color affinity to our powerhouse units, which is awesome with this particular team, as that way we can color affinity for Zoro, who is effective against all types. Okay, I totally stuffed that up. You meant to drop the Kaido special first. Totally forgot to have the akainu support. As you guys can see there, akainu support is definitely not necessary. All the orbs are naturally matching, which is super handy. So you don't really need that akainu support, but it will give you a full board of strength orbs if you guys are lacking limit break and whatnot. So this damage is going to be a little bit off, but 7 million with a 1.5 times attack boost instead of a 2.25, pretty good. But if you are running double Kaido, I'm sure that's probably going to be a little bit higher. Well, actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's probably not. Probably going to be the same. Well, you'd have a bigger orb boost, I guess, but let me know in the comment section below if you have tested that. So for the next team, I have changed it up a little bit. We are using a Sabo friend captain, but I actually replaced Big Mom on this particular team with Odin. The idea, if you are bringing a Sabo, Super Type Sabo friend captain, this is the only time I'm going to be using Super Type Sabo, by the way, guys, so lap it up, you Sabo fans. The downside to bringing a Chain Locker with Sabo is, obviously, you lose out on a lot of damage, as he is a chain boosting captain. So very, very important that you guys don't bring a Chain Lock if you are running this particular team. But the beautiful thing about bringing Luffy and Sabo together is they both trigger each other's super typings, which works very, very well. On stage 2, against Hold'em and the 2 fodder enemies, what we can actually do on this particular stage is use the Sabo special. That way we can start getting that carryover effect. And because we don't need the Orb Boost of Luffy, we can actually use the super typing of Luffy as well. And that way we can get an attack boost. Hold'em just doesn't stand a chance at that point. With Luffy's attack boost, we should be able to easily hit 3 perfects. Obviously, try and attack with characters that don't have orbs, because you do want to try and get both Sabo's carryover effects. On the final stage against Hawkins, he's going to give us normal attacks only. We still have that burn. He paralyzes us and rotates all of our orbs into unfavorable, but with this team, it's not an issue whatsoever. We do have the Rayleigh support. He's going to remove some paralysis, which is super, super nice. And then we can use our Luffy special. Luffy is going to turn all of our orbs into matching, as well as give us a orb boost. We have the special of Okiku here to give us cooldowns, as well as remove the rest of the paralysis. We have Marco and Ace for a 2.75 times attack boost. And then finally, we have the special of Odin to just rotate all of our orbs into Wano slots, which is super, super nice. We're going to finish it off with Sabo's super typing. That way we get the chain boost as well. And then we've got Boa on this particular team to remove special bind later down the track. But with that, with the chain boosting captain, honestly, like, we didn't even need to attack with anyone else. Starting at 9 mil with a chain boosting captain is just going to absolutely be absurd, the amount of damage output this team is going to have. And the final team for the Dex variation is the team that I'll be using to be taking this down. Now, I don't see this team having too many issues, but these teams that I'm using are going to be subject to change. As when things get a little bit harder, I may need to update the teams. But we'll get a feel for that as we make our way through the run. So we are using double Zoro as our captain. We do have Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin on this team as well. And that way we can just sort of maximize our ticket growth every single time we do a run, which is going to be super, super nice. On stage 2, when we come up against Hold'em and his fodder friends, we get 4 turns of burn. And that's pretty much all he does. So what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our Zoro specials. That way we can get an orb buffs to our slashes and our powerhouse units. We can just easily take out Hold'em on that particular turn. Super, super easy. On the next stage, when we come up against Hawkins, Hawkins is not, well, later on it's going to special blind us, but he rolls our specials back. He paralyzes us for 3 turns. And we still have the burn from the Hold'em stage. So what we can do here is we can use the special of our, what's his name? King. King is going to give our powerhouse characters cooldown. That way we can get all of our specials ready. We can use the Sachi, Beppo, and Penguin special. They are going to remove the paralysis. Then we can use our Zoro special to give us a orb buff and give us cooldowns as well. We've got Kaido special here to give us an attack buff for our strength, our int, and our dex units. With the Shutenmaru support, we can get a base stat boost as well, which is very, very nice, but definitely not essential. And then finally, we've got the Cavendish special. Cavendish is going to give us a chain lock, but it's also going to make quick orbs matching. So Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin, that will then making quick orbs or orbs quick is actually going to become a full board of matching orbs, which is super, super good. So that was the strength variation, guys. Let's hop into the quick variation now. Moving on to the next variation now, we come up against the quick variation of Hawkins. And for this particular team, I am using a friend Zoro. So this whole team is built around a mono slasher team, as we are using V2 Mihawk for this particular run. Now, if you guys don't want this team to be at level 140 proof like I have designed it, you can easily replace Law with V3 Law, and then you can use Kamizo, who is boosted in this event. That way you don't really have to worry about getting around all the damage reduction, as I think it goes to level 5 damage reduction on turn 70. It might be on turn 100, like stage 140. I can't remember, to be honest. But nevertheless, if you do want a little bit more damage output and you do have V3 Law, replace the Wano Law with V3 Law and replace Karina with Kamizo. That should work absolutely fine, and you will get a lot more damage output. So on this particular stage against page 1, he has a perfect barrier. So what we're actually going to do here is we're actually just going to use one of our friend Zoro special. Zoro's actually going to give us an orb boost to our powerhouse and our slasher units. And I just switched with, I did not mean to do that. hang on 1 second. Alright, we're back. Time to not be a spoon. Do not switch with your Zoro and your Sanji, otherwise you will lose the Mihawk effect. So, we're going to use our Zoro special once again, and then we are just going to attack through the barrier. Because we have the orb boost from Zoro, it's a 2.25 times orb boost because he does have delay immunity. So as you'll see, like, as soon as you break that barrier, Zoro just claps, or any unit with an orb will absolutely clap. You could probably use the Mihawk special there, but utilizing the Zoro special is a little bit more effective, mainly because you can actually get the wave clear. Now, if you have the support of Perona, you can also put the support of Perona onto Mihawk. That will help you get orbs, but because of the block orb mechanic, actually, now that I'm looking at it, just ignore everything I just said. It's not going to matter. So what we're going to do on this stage, we are going to use the Karina special. Karina is going to give us a full board of orbs, as well as removing the damage reduction. Then we can use the Zoro and Sanji special. They're going to give us a 2.75 times attack boost, as we are at max HP. We have the support of Nami because this team is 100 level, 140 proof. Then we can use the Zoro special, the Law special to give us an additional chain buff. We can then use Mihawk special, who's going to give lockout orbs and give us a massive orb boost. And then finally, we can actually use Pedro, as Hawkins in this variation isn't actually immune to defense down. So because we have a full team of slashes, we can get the defense down, we can get the conditional boost. He does heal back from HP cuts, but don't worry about that. And as you guys will see, it's just like absolutely disgusting. So much damage, and obviously that is just going to get more and more as Mihawk is a chain boosting captain. So on to the next team for the quick variation of Hawkins. We are using the Luffy team with a friend Kid. Very important that you do bring a friend Kid, otherwise you won't be able to get around the block orbs. Trust me, I know from experience. With this particular team, Kid isn't actually getting any cooldowns, but he's only here purely so we can actually remove those block orbs, plus activate super typing for us so we can actually get a lot more damage output from our Dex units. On stage 2, we come up against page 1 and 2 fodder enemies. Page 1 is going to have a perfect barrier. So what we can do on this particular stage here is we can switch with our Luffy and Law. That's going to give them an attack boost, 2 times attack boost, and then we can actually just use the use their attack boost to do a lot of damage to page 1. And unfortunately with this team, we're probably going to have to take 2 turns to take out page 1. Now, if you don't take page 1 out on the first turn, he is just going to take away all of your orbs, which is really not that big of a deal, as we can actually just switch back with our Luffy and Law. They're going to get that attack boost once again, and then we can just take out page 1 on the second turn. Beautiful. So on to the final stage now against Basil Hawkins. He is going to give us a full board of block orbs. He's also going to be immune to delay and gives normal attacks only. He binds our bottom row for 5 turns, which goes down to 2 turns with sockets. And that obviously will get bigger and bigger as you get to level 70 and level 140. That's why you see so many supports on this particular team. Like I said, if you do want to make this team a bit better, you can actually use... no, sorry, not this team, the previous team. That was... Never mind, ignore me. So what we're going to do on this particular stage here is we are going to use the super typing of Kid first. Kid's going to rotate all those block orbs into bomb orbs for us. Then we can use the special of Judge. Very important that you use that before you use the Sabo special. Otherwise, you will lose your chain lock. Next, we want to use the Luffy and Law special, so that way we get the orb boost. Very important we do that. Then we can use the special of Praline. Praline's going to remove the damage reduction. And with the support of Aladdin, we can actually get all the orbs that we need for Jinbe. So with the Jinbe special, he's going to make all of our orbs matching. Oh, no! Okay, so you got to use Jinbe. Sorry, you got to use Jinbe before the Luffy special. That's fairly important. For the meantime, though, it's not going to matter too much, as we just have a butt ton of damage to take out Basil Hawkins. So there you guys go. That was the Luffy team. Not that many points. I would recommend trying to bring a friend Zoro, so the other team might be more up your alley for the early stages. So moving into the final team against the quick variation of Hawkins, we are using the team that I've built that I'm most likely going to be using for most of this KIZUNA, mainly because I just can maximize the amount of points, as I have both Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin, as well as having a Zoro. So this team utilizes a double Zoro lead. I do understand most people probably didn't summon on the KIZUNA, or if you did, you may have got unlucky and didn't pull any of the new units. So hopefully the 2 teams that you saw before this will help you guys out. But for you guys that are a bit more whale, a bit more pay to play, this is what, if you got Law as well, you want to try and slap Law on here somewhere as well. But hopefully this team will help you guys out, just give you an understanding on how to take down this content. So on the page 1 stage, we are going to use one of our Zoro specials, as we don't need 2 orb boosters for the final stage. And as long as we've got 1 orb on someone, as you can see, it doesn't even matter. We don't even need the orb, but doing that wave clear of those 40 units is quite nice. On the final stage against Basil Hawkins, he is going to give us a full board of block orbs. He does normal attacks only, and he's immune to delay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the Sachi and Penguin special. They can remove bind as well as give us a full board of quick orbs, which is, it is what it is. Then we can use the Zoro special. He's going to give us an orb boost as well as give us cooldowns that we don't really need. Then we've got the Praline special. Praline is going to remove the damage reduction. With the Aladdin support like you saw in the previous team, we can give ourselves the full board of orbs we need for Jinbe special. With the Jinbe special, we can make pretty much all of those orbs matching for everyone besides Sachi and Penguin. So I might have to move Sachi and Penguin over. Yeah, we definitely... Oh, and Zoro. Zoro doesn't have a matching orb either. Okay, that's a bit of an issue. We might have to slap on the... we might have to change our ship to a ship that can make those orbs matching, because that's definitely going to be an issue. We definitely want orbs on those two particular units. So we're just going to attack here as this is the early stages, and it's not going to matter too much. But with this particular team, I'm going to have to adjust it as I go. But for the meantime, it is going to work. But in the level 30 playthrough, you guys will see how it's been performing. And onto the final variation now, we come up into the side variations. The first thing we're going to look at is the Katakuri and Law friend captain. You don't really need to bring Law as a friend. You could easily bring Big Mom. You could probably bring Blackbeard as well. Big Mom's actually boosted, but if you guys are missing the Opera support, you can easily run Law to actually remove the Despair. Plus, he's the Orb booster for this particular team, but Big Mom will also fill that same role. Because we do have Croc on this team, we can get the super typing of Law as well, but we are going to get the super typing of Katakuri, so like it's not going to matter too much. On stage 2, when we come up against X-Drake, he has 2 mob members with him and he puts up defense up. Now, I'm not 100% sure how hefty this defense up actually is, but because we are bringing a Law friend captain, we can actually activate the Law special to give ourselves an orb boost. Now, the big upside to giving ourselves an orb boost is we can actually carry that into the next stage. Now, this actual, okay, well, the defense up's actually pretty big. I mean, with an orb boost, it doesn't seem too hefty. And now I've actually lost my orb boost, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. But we'll see how we go. Unfortunately for me, we are going to lose that orb boost. So it does seem like we are going to have to remove that defense up. In my prep video, I wasn't sure how big that defense up actually was. But as you can see, it's actually a fair, decent defense up. So we're going to have to find a way to get around that for most of these teams. So I may modify, lucky for us, Law has reflection damage, but I may have to modify my other Big Mom team. On to the next stage against Hawkins now. He is a Psy unit. We did get the chain growth debuff, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm sure we can probably get around that. So he gives us attack down. He has Threshold. So what we can do here is we can use the Katakuri special. He's also going to remove Despair, but because we have Law, we don't have to worry about that. We do have Croc here to remove the attack down. He's going to give us 2 times color affinity as well. Then we can use the special of Reiju. She's going to... Oh, I should have used the Shank special first. Use the Shank special first. That's going to give you a better attack boost, but it's not really going to matter too much. 2 times compared to 2.25, it ain't that much of a deal. Finally, when we use the Nami special, we can activate the super typing of Katakuri. That way we have the 5 times captain, we have the delay mechanic, we have the chain lock, we have color affinity. Basically, this team has everything that you guys can see under the sun, and has quite a bit of damage. So I would modify it in some way to actually remove that defense up, but other than that, the team does work fairly well. So moving on to the next team against the Psy Variation, we are using a double Big Mom team. Now, I did change up this team a little bit. I do have the support of Law on my Big Mom, mainly because that defense up, I did find out when I was using the Katakuri team, is a little bit more significant than I was expecting. But if you don't have the Law support, you could always use something like Dofi. V1 Dofi should work fine, or any other way to get an orb boost, just to make sure that we can do a little bit more damage on this particular stage against X-Drake. Against X-Drake, he does have 2 fodder units, and he puts up 4 turns of defense up. So we do want to use our Big Mom special. That way we can rotate orbs, we can get an attack boost, and we can actually get an orb boost to our int units. What we're going to do then is switch into our boa variation, so that way we've just got all our int units, and we should be able to take out the units in the back fairly easily, as we do have an attack boost and an orb boost. Because there are 3 units, it's very easy to hit your 3 perfects, and that way we can carry in a bigger orb boost into the next stage against Basil Hawkins. Against Basil Hawkins on the side variation, he is going to be full immune and give us normal attacks only. He glooms our captains for 5 turns, which I think goes up, or maybe it doesn't. I think it stays that way for the whole time. He has this attack down. That definitely goes up to 5 turns, and he has threshold. That definitely goes up as well. What we're going to do on this turn is we are going to use our Big Mom special to get the 2.25 times attack boost. Fairly handy that we do that. Oh, we don't get our Luffy Boa special cooldowns. Okay. Well, Luffy Boa on this team can go. If you are missing some, like, as I mentioned in the actual video, you can use someone to remove defense up instead of Luffy Boa, because we do have color affinity with our Otama. I totally missed out on the fact that you do start as the Psy variation of Luffy, so you're not actually going to get that big color affinity. I do imagine you could probably stall out for that if you do have them maxed out, which is super handy. Otherwise, just bring someone that can rotate all of your orbs if you are running something like this particular team. Something to note, I guess. But with that, with Big Mom being boosted and having all of those buffs, it's just absolute GG. He's hitting for 55 mil. This team's not going to have any issues moving forward. The only downside, I guess, is orbs, so maybe replace Luffy and Boa with someone that can give you guys orbs. That's also boosted to get their cooldowns at the start of the fight. So moving into the final team for the Psy variation now. This is the team that I'm going to be rocking to try and maximize my points throughout the Kizuna, as I do have both Zoro and Beppo Sachi Penguin. These teams are sort of this particular team of mine is subject to change, as I'm going to have to sort of update it as it starts to get harder and harder. But I don't imagine this team is going to have too many issues moving through all of the runs. With this team, something that I did change from the prep video is I am using the support of Kashiro on my Zoro. That way, on this particular stage against X-Drake, I can use my Zoro special to not only get the wave clear and the orb buff, but I can actually remove the defense up, which is super, super nice. We're also going to get a chain buff here as well, which just means that we can absolutely destroy X-Drake. See you later, brother. So on to the final stage against Basil Hawkins now. This is where we're going to start popping off all of our specials, but we do have to do it in a specific order. So we do get 99 turns of normal attacks only. He has threshold and he gives us attack down. So what we can do here is we're going to start with our Sobama special to give us an attack boost. Then we can use the Sachi, Beppo, and Penguin special to remove the threshold. They're going to rotate our orbs into quick, which we do want to get rid of. Then we can use the Zoro special to remove the despair and give us an orb buff. We have Jack special here. He's going to remove the attack down. Now that we've used so many specials, we've got our Sobama special back. But we are going to use Big Mom first to get the chain lock, as well as the base stat boost. And then we can finish it off with Sobama special again to get a 2.5 times attack boost. And with that, like, we're just going to have so much damage with this team. I don't really see this team needing to be changed anytime soon, especially moving forward up to like level 70 and above easily. Probably level 140 and above, to be honest. But that's going to conclude the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!